I don't know about you guys, but for me, the biggest motivation killer in my garage is the clutter. It's like if there's an empty space, well, it's just going to collect everything because I haven't designated space for said things yet. Now, granted, I will say I'm still moving, you know. Yes, we've been moved in for like a couple, 3 weeks at this point. So everything at the previous residence is here. But for the last year, I've had a storage unit with all my motorcycle stuff in it. And I'm gradually moving that stuff in because I have so much storage here that I don't need that anymore. It's just a matter of doing the physical work to put the stuff where it needs to be. And it's not easy. It's not. It's easy to go get a truckload and back it up into the driveway and then bleh, just puke it all over the garage. And that is what has happened over the last week. So my goal for today is to get some of this stuff in the places where it's gonna live and clear off my motorcycle table and get the shovel head up on the table so that we can start making progress. Obviously, I can't put a motorcycle on that. So we're going to get this sucker cleared off. We're going to get the bike on it. I'm going to show you guys how I built this, and we're going to set ourselves up to make progress on the thing that needs progress made. Okay, let's do this.
Warning: my dad is just an average idiot. He is no way, shape, or form a professional, so do not do what he does. This video is for entertainment purposes only. Remember, don't do dumb stuff.
First and foremost is this, and I'm not going to lie, it's overwhelming. I got this chair in here that needs to go to the basement. I've got a leaf blower that I've got to find a place to put. This is my Viver heater that initially, that was my plan for this week's video, was showing you guys how to set up my heater and mount the fan and do all that stuff. But I can't do anything until I find places for stuff. And I'll admit, I'm a clutter guy. Like, I'm the guy that when I do this, 9 times out of 10, it'll just go on a shelf, or it'll just go in a tub, or it'll just go somewhere to where when it comes time to try and find it, I can't find it. So I'm trying to remedy that. I'm trying to help you guys to remedy that if you are like me. And I'm guessing there's quite a few out there that are. So let's clear this off and then go from there. Oh, and by the way, for those of you who happen to notice, because I didn't think to check my video before recording everything that I did last week, and realized that the shirt that I was wearing, every time I raised my arms, my belly stuck out, and had to spend all that time editing with the sensor bars. This week I'm wearing brand new flannel from Greasy Hand Society. If you guys aren't familiar with them, they're fantastic. They make great flannels with pearl snaps that fit well, and you can hold your arms straight out like this for riding, and they don't go back, and it's good flannel, and it's long enough. I don't have to worry about it like doing what that other one did. So go check out Greasy Hand Society. You've probably never heard of them, but if you haven't, you will soon, because they're just that good. Back to the job at hand. And yes, I do love collecting old motorcycle seats. For those of you that remember the first incarnation of Gypsy, this is the seat that was on it. And this is a true 70s, like Harley Davidson from the factory King Queen seat that I'll tell you right now has seen better days. Like, the bottom's all taped together. I'll be honest, it's not really in very good shape to use. But it looks cool hanging on the wall. So it's not something I'm gonna get rid of, because I can just put it right there in the pile of stuff that came from there to there. Making progress. don't know what to do with half of this crap, so I'll just stick it over here until I decide to take it from there to over there. And I wish I had someone to help me carry that big dumb chair downstairs. Whoops, there went my dolly. You guys, I've recently started collecting cassettes again. I found this at the thrift store. It's an old school cassette, like organizer thing. Yeah, it was $4.29, but it gives me a place where my stereo is to be able to display my cassettes. You can't buy this new anymore. These are good finds when you find them. How are you supposed to store these? Because every time I try to lean it against something, it falls over. So I'm really at kind of a loss because I try to set it down and it just wants to fall over. And it'll be messy if I try to lay it down because I have used it. I don't know. I get it. I need a nicer, newer grill. So I guess it just. I hate that. I just set it there for now. So I said I was going to show you guys a little bit more about how I built this. And honestly, it's just so simple. I bought like 8 or 10 2x4s, a sheet of OSB. The only reason it is the size that it is because I ripped off 18 inches to put on that bottom shelf over there. And honestly, I could have made it a little bit smaller, but I'm hoping that by it being the size that it is, with the bike on it, I don't want to be a catch-all, but at least I have room to put like little bowls and my tools on the bench and not on the floor while I'm working on it. It's just this simple. And yes, I moved the those into the inside where I had them on the outside. I did go ahead and put 3 2x4s across to strengthen it because I did notice that with the bike on it and my little scissor jack under the bike, it wanted to start bowing. It's one here, and one up here. That way, it's stronger. So, is it perfect? No. Is it better than spending $600 on a lift at Harbor Freight? For me, yeah, because once the bike goes up on there, it's not coming off. Like this bike will be up there throughout the whole teardown process and the whole rebuild process. So it's not like I need to constantly change it up and down, or I'm constantly taking the bike on and off. Like for me, this with just my little motorcycle ramp to get it up on there and strap it down, and it's perfect. It's better than working on the floor, that's for sure. Ultimately, I want to be able to, put stuff under here too while I'm working if I need to. It's a good place for exhaust pipes and just takeoff parts, because that's the thing when doing this teardown is I've already got 4 or 5 totes dedicated to just everything I'm taking off the bike. That way I know where everything goes, keep it all organized, and I can decide what's going to go back on and what's just going to go in a takeoff tote. One thing about this time of year is I sweat. Like I sweat. And it's 60 degrees, which is beautiful. But flannel on is too much. With the flannel off, I'm like cold but sweating at the same time. It's just, it's ick. It's not something I really recommend anyone else to have to deal with. But unfortunately, God said, yeah, this is how we're going to make you. Now, granted, I'm pretty aware of the fact that if I lost some weight, probably be better. But I don't know. I like food. So, yeah. My grandpa used to always say that when you buy someone else's project, you're really buying their headache. And you never know what you're getting yourself into. And that is one thing when it comes to buying old basket case motorcycles that could not be more true. This bike, it's a nice project, it's a nice starting point, but let's be honest, it's a basket case. I was having trouble with these bars wanting to slip when moving the bike, and I just realized why. It's because this top clamp does not match the bottom risers. This piece right here, well, the one that it's supposed to be on should have a little cutout here for this to fit in, and it doesn't. So somebody tried to just shove this on with these, and because of it, it's not actually clamping tight enough. You can see here, I even tried to shove a hose clamp down in there, thinking maybe it would bite into it. Negative. So I got to take this off right now and find another one, or figure out what I'm going to do to get these bars tight before I try pushing this thing up on the table. See how they keep moving? Yeah. God, I wish I'd get over the cold so I could stop being Mr. Sniffles the whole time I'm recording this. I can't wait to show you guys all of the terrible crap that's on this bike. Like these floorboards. Wow, I don't know who thought this was a good idea. All right. Where is, there it is. Grab my ramp. Well, I decided to just run over to the storage unit and go ahead and grab a couple different options for the handlebar situation, because I've got like 8 sets of bars over here, and I've got all kinds of different top clamps and risers and stuff. And rather than risking dropping the bike because the handlebars moved, I figured I'd just run over here and actually do it right. And meanwhile, grab some of the stuff, because this is what I was talking about. This is all just motorcycle stuff. Between takeoff parts, extra tires, exhaust parts, front end stuff, I've got a ton of stuff that needs to come out of here and go over there, and might as well just get some of that done, right? Because that's the responsible, better way to do it, right? Okay. All right, well, this is what we're doing. I could not find my other risers and top clamps because, that's the way life goes. And I wasn't going to spend 20 minutes digging for it because I wanted to get this done. So, what we are going to do is we are going to just remove these handlebars completely and put the rabbit ears on for now, because these just bolt straight to with no risers, no clamps, no nothing. Now, I understand that means I need to take off all the controls, but those need to come off anyway. This thing's getting torn down to the bare frame. There's nothing that's going to stay. Unfortunately, the past person actually internalized all the wiring here, but again, that doesn't matter because I'm just going to rip it all out and start over. So we're going to cut some wires. We're going to take these off. We're going to throw these on, and we're going to put this sucker up on the ramp. Okay. All right. There's the clutch. There's that still hanging on. Put these in my pocket. Ooh, what's that all about? I don't know. I guess I'll find it when I move it. I do know that for the engine stop on this, instead of having an actual like normal button, it's got toggle switches, which I actually think is kind of cool. Aside from that, though, there is not much cool on this motorcycle other than just the motor. I'm going to show you guys just how much of this ick that over the years, that's one thing. If you build motorcycles and you buy basket cases from other people, you will get stuck with so much crap that you don't want and don't have a need for, but simply because, well, it was on the bike when I bought it. All right, there's all that crap. Let's get some zip ties so we can bundle all that together so it isn't more of a mess. God, this is ridiculous. All right. Now let's take those bars off. Cut these wires. I don't know if this is going to work. Because that's weird. There's nuts on the bottom instead of just the bolts that go through. Oh boy. Do I have another set of bolts that I can use? What the heck? Let's take this apart and see what this does. Oh wow, those are so stripped. All riser bolts should be 1/4 inch, and these things aren't even close. Again, when it comes to buying used anything, just buying someone else's junk and mess that they've made. Ick. At least I can do that now. Get it out of the way. Do them this way. I really thought I was going to be able to just pull the bolts out of the bottom, take this whole thing off as one piece, and be done with it. Nope. Nope. Because why? Because chopper life. That's why. Remember what I said about doing something to try and make something easier and only making it harder? Prime example. This was all just so it'd be easier to put this sucker up on my table. And instead, I'm just going to have to dismantle half the front end. And what I started to say was that my Allen wrench socket thingies, you know what I'm talking about, that you can use and with the ratchet, the one in this size broke. Remember when I said I had crappy tools? That's what I was talking about. At least these ugly ass 18-inch giant stupid things are off. Now let's see if I can knock these risers up and off. There's one. Here's the other. Of course, the bushing came out with it, because why wouldn't it? God, that's annoying. Son of a beanpole. I got one. Well, for now, I just might have to make this work. All right, here's what we did. We made do. I didn't find the right bolt, but I found a bolt that I was able to run a nut down on and stick that up in there to put the bars on. Is it perfect? No. Is it something I would run while riding? Absolutely not. But is it good enough for me to be able to get this sucker up on the lift and stop fiddle farting around with this? Absolutely. That'll work. That will work. Clean up my tools. Grab all this crap out of the driveway. And then get it put up on the table like we've been trying to do for the last however long. Now, because I do not have a tire thing in the end of this, I suggest if you're going to do what I'm doing, get yourself your ratchet straps and have them ready, already laid out, ready to go. So when you get this thing up there, you're not fiddle farting around trying to find ratchet straps to be able to strap it to the table. I mean, point blank period, it is definitely one of the biggest recommendations I have for you guys. All right. Strap in a ratchet. 2 different colors. Will that bug me? Yes. Do I care? No. And I do suggest you guys, anytime you're doing stuff like this, record yourself, because one, if you do something dumb, you get it and you can show people. Or two, you might not do as much dumb stuff if you know that somebody might see it. So here we go. Let's put the. You're not going to believe this, but my phone ran out of storage while I was pushing the bike up on the ramp. So the only thing you guys missed was my fat butt actually pushing this thing up here. It's not as hard as you think. Now we're going to get it strapped down. For those of you that maybe aren't familiar on how to actually use ratchet straps to do this, I know that it's kind of like one of those, well, everybody knows. You don't know till you know. Basically, run the strap through here on the forks, and then take this and put it through the hole. That way, there's no way it can come apart. And when you pull it tight, make sure you're not getting any of these lines or any of your wiring bound up in it. And then this goes through this. Move my camera. Anyway, you run that through the hole, you pull this up here tight, and because there's so much lean on it right now with it, obviously sitting on the kickstand, there's going to be some adjusting made. So basically, this is where it gets a little sketchy. Pull it up like this, so there's still a little bit of lean to it. And then I'm just going to put a little tension on it. And if it falls, you guys are going to see it. And then go around to the other side and do the same thing. And after I get these put on, then I'm going to put my scissor jack thingy underneath of it. And that will make sure that she sits upright the way it's supposed to. And if you had some help during this, it wouldn't be a bad idea. Somebody just to stand there and hold the motorcycle. But, I've mentioned before, my toxic trait is that I don't like asking for help for anything because I believe I can do it myself. One of these days, that's going to bite me. For right now, it's just fine. All right. That is at least sturdy enough for the moment to go back and forth with the straps. And now let me get my scissor jack to put under it. If you guys don't own one of these, I suggest you buy one, because even if you've got a lift, this is just extra protection. Stick that sucker under there, roll it up, grab a wrench, and now we just crank this sucker up, and you'll get the back wheel off the ground, and in the process, level the motorcycle. So now we can turn that. So we know that's good. And now just grab the ratchet straps, tighten this sucker down so she's not going anywhere. I need to just decide on what pair of these I'm going to dedicate to this so I can cut the extra off so it's not needed. That's pretty much it. We're getting it up on the table and making it secure. I'm going to tie these down to get the extra strap out of the way and to make it a little bit more secure. That. I just run it around where it already is. And I do this too anytime I'm transporting a motorcycle because, well, let's face it, if it did decide to let go, at least it's extra strap holding it. There you guys go. It's on the table, solid, ready to be worked on. Well, we didn't get a whole lot done today, but we actually kind of did get a whole lot done today because now I have this sitting here ready to go, ready to get started working on. Is there a ton more that needs done in the garage? Oh, yes. It's completely overwhelming when I think about it. And the one thing that I haven't, you know, really brought up to you guys is all the work that's going on down in the basement where I'm setting up my studio for painting and creating non-garage style stuff. So bottom line is I feel a sense of accomplishment. It's time to start going through my tools and figuring out what I have and what I don't have and what I need and all that stuff. But at the end of the day, at least I can say I got this accomplished today. And that means that this can get started being torn down and the build process can begin. And boy, howdy, are you guys in for some entertainment because you're about to see just what it looks like when you buy a basket case and decide to strip it down and build a chopper out of it. And uh, it's not for the faint of heart. It can definitely be challenging, but it's also extremely rewarding. So stick around for the next episode where we will start tearing this thing down and all of that jazz. And if you like this video, make sure you like and subscribe. Tell your buddies and stay tuned because I'm looking at thinking about doing some giveaway type stuff. Not raffle, giveaway. Where once I hit a certain number of subscribers, then everybody that's gotten in this block will be entered for a chance to win this or win that. So until then, see y'all next time.